Hi friends, my name is Martin and I'm the founder of I Need Help Now Emotional Health. So these are moments where I do question and answer. So I look at a dilemma posted on Facebook touching on emotional health, and I respond to it based on my knowledge, based on my understanding, and based on my experience with the many interactions I've had with emotionally troubled people. I only want to say that the bottom line of my expertise and my processes and my services is that I believe there can never be emotional health unless there is movement of thoughts and emotions from within the hurting person to without. And the without can have a friend listening, or an emotional coach, or a counselor, or a psychologist, or someone who is trained to empathize with someone who is experiencing trouble. So that's the drive, that's the bottom line, that's my core value as I interact with people. Otherwise, thank you, and let me share with you the dilemma. It says, do you guys ever get so sad and down that it physically hurts? So that's the question. Yes, I have been in that situation, whether I'm extremely sad and it translates into physical tiredness, or I'm exhausted physically, or I'm physically hurt. And guess what? That is the way it is supposed to be. Your emotional, mental health are related to your physical health. Did you know that? Yes, because your emotional health, your mental health, and your spiritual health, simply, they are what I can say the software part of you. You don't see it physically, you cannot touch it, it's not a substance you can touch, but it affects how you physically react or you physically function. So yes, it is okay when you're emotionally sad, when you're so sad emotionally, when you're so sad mentally, that it translates into physical exhaustion, or you feel hurt physically. That's normal, that's the way it's supposed to be. The question is, what do you do when it comes to this point? I only want to say this, that there's no human being who can tell you they've never been in a situation where they've been hurt emotionally, they've been spoken to in a way that it felt like they've been disrespected, they've been belittled, they've been taken for granted. Each one of us is living in a fallen world. We are living in an imperfect world, meaning at one point you'll meet someone who is crazy, and at one point you'll get someone who is very sick, is even sick more than you, and that's the time you hear them speak something and you're like, oh my goodness, it really hurts. Your partner, your husband, your wife, they can talk stuff to you and you're like, God, even you can say this to me. Yes, they are human beings. But the question is, what do you do after that? This is what I like to suggest. You have an option. Anytime you go through a difficult situation, a breakup, job loss, and whatever you experience, you have two options. You either interpret the event in a way that makes you the victim, or interpret the events that makes you still be in charge of your life. Most people, a larger percentage, do interpretation that pushes them into the victim corner and lets every other person be responsible for their life. That is catastrophic, that is self-defeating, that is destructive, because no one is able enough to take care of another person. Like I said, we are all living in a fallen world, in a fallen state, meaning at any given moment I have enough share of my struggle and my trouble that I cannot have extra energy to take care of the issues. So always do interpretation in a way that it still leaves you responsible for your life, responsible for your happiness, responsible for your success, responsible to bounce back. And I'll finish by saying this, that exercise this fundamental principle. You are an emotional being. You are a human being. Those two come with a territory. They come with the permission for you to experience pain and express pain. Experience pleasure and express pleasure. Experience sadness and express sadness. Experience happiness and express happiness. The expression is what we need to discuss, because I don't expect you to express pain to hurt another person. No, I'm expecting you to explain your pain so that you let it off your chest. You ventilate, you vent out, you sort of empty the cup of the poison that is seeking to destroy you, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's why it's important to express your pain before someone who is trained. Do it before a life emotional coach. Do it before a counselor. Do it before a psychologist. Someone who, even after they receive your pain, they can be able to guide you into going back and sit on your throne and begin to call shots for your life. Man, that's my response. Let me know what you think about the dilemma, and let me also know if you like me to support you or to help you in any way. All you can do is comment below this video, whether on YouTube or on Facebook, or DM me and I'll be able to respond to you soonest. Thank you.